Hello, and thank you for watching. I am Mike, and I am going to show you how easy it is to build a chat app with Socket.io. Socket.io is it's just a tool you use. It's just JavaScript. So it is you're not learning something extra. You're just getting better at JavaScript. Um, so the two big things we're using to make this are JavaScript, which means we're going to be using jQuery with our JavaScript, and Socket.io, but to be honest, it's probably not going to be for a few episodes, maybe several episodes before we get to the Socket.io. And that's because when I show you a demo, there's just a lot of other things we got to take care of first. Um, Socket.io is going to be it's a server, so that means that's back-end programming, and it's going to be JavaScript on the back end. So we're going to be using Node. So you see how I have this little sticker here, and this little sticker here, and this little sticker here. As we add new technologies, I'm going to add Node. I'm going to add probably NPM, uh, Git, and GitHub, because we're going to be using Git and GitHub. Um, WebSockets. I'm going to put little stickers. We're not going to be huge on them, but we're just going to touch on these things. And I think as we go into a one by one, you're probably good at, I hope you're good at HTML and CSS by now, or at least you're comfortable with them. But just little resume builders that we're going to touch on. So let me do a demo. So I have, this is kind of what we're going to build. I don't want to just have, it'll say, hey, Bob says this, then Mike says this, and then Michelle says this. I want, no one's going to have a name, everyone's going to have an avatar. And the reason I chose to do that is because that's just one more thing we can do in sockets. It's, by the time you're done with this, I just want you to realize how much you can do with sockets. And I think when I'm done with all of them, I'm going to show you a game that I wrote once in us with using Socket.io. So we're going to pick avatars. And as you pick an avatar, and not right now, like if I pick Thor, Thor stays there. You can't tell that I picked him. So now if I type, what would Thor say? Hammer. It comes up here, and the CSS, we're going to do a better job with the CSS, but I don't want this to become a CSS tutorial. So I have a little picture of Thor, but if this wasn't here, you wouldn't know that was Thor. So what I should do is just zoom in on the face. And by the way, these pictures, this one down here is Black Panther, by the way, you can barely see him in there. But these pictures, if you're thinking, I don't know if it's legal to take pictures like this on a YouTube video, well, these are public domain pictures, like this Black Widow. But you can't tell, but this is actually a picture of an action figure. And this, I don't know if this is the Captain America we're all used to. But I think that was a real Thor. But anyway, so I'll teach you about that. It's a little off topic, but it was nice for me to know how to get public domain pictures. So this isn't done. This is just to show you, because in a chat room, other people will be talking to me, and it's not about how I can make this appear on my own screen that's cool. It's how I can make it appear on someone's screen across the world. And that's where Sockets comes in. That's what Sockets does. And if you think, ooh, talking across the world is hard, well, when you see Sockets, it's just going to be, you're going to be pretty happy, I think, because it is not hard at all. And then in the end, we're going to deploy it, which means we are going to have a live chat room that you can talk to each other, you can talk to me in, and I'm going to show you how to deploy your own chat room, or your own game, or your own whatever you want. And to do that, we're going to use something called Heroku. So that is what we're going to build. I guess the other thing I want to touch on, I told you we're going to use Git. If you don't know what Git or GitHub is, I was just going to use it, but I decided to do like a little tutorial on it as well. Just a small tutorial, just to show you how to make a repo. So instead of just things magically appearing at GitHub, I'm going to show you how to get them into GitHub. And if me saying Git and GitHub like makes you nervous and think this is overwhelming, you can just ignore that part if you want. The good thing about GitHub is if you see what I've made, you can just steal it. You can just take it from GitHub and you can just copy and you can just clone it and make it your own. And you can just study the code. You don't have to listen to me talk. You can just go right to the code. The repo isn't up there yet. But anyway, that is what I'm doing. That is what we're doing. And I don't see the part where, oh, there it is. This is how I stopped recording. So I will see you guys in part 2 and we will start some coding.